looking at our studio audience here, it looks like it is a contingent of student athletes who are now studying with Tim Hortons, coffees and munchkins, and laptops to work with.
That's true. I feel like I'm studying in the library right now, to be honest with you. Plus, with the soccer players in the background.
If it's Concordia, it's just as loud
It is.
as the Concordia Library.
It is.
Depends which library you find yourself in.
Well, the downtown library.
Welcome to You Will Soon Be Fired, or as I like to call it, the Scorekeepers Club.
Okay.
Nobody knows why.
Vince Nardone, Puzzler Delarizzi, Eagle, and usually Mocon, as we will recommence here and get into it as we will recap the week that was with the opening drive. The first game we'll talk about, which was the most hyped up game going into this week 3 battle, Finest D-Boys, as the D-Boys won 46-39. Scoreline was not indicative of what it was. It was a 2-score lead up until late in the 5 plays scenario. Theo J pretty much won the football game for them for what he did. 5 TD pass catches. Ken Moore 3 TDs. Marco Masters throwing a first play INT, 7 TDs, 2 INTs. Kevin Wise 6 TDs.
A little reminiscent though of the spring final where it was just picks being thrown left and right. You see that first throw pick, you wonder, is it going down that way as well?
Absolutely. The question I have for you, Vince, and you can chime in too, Puzzles. With this victory, what did this game provide for the outlook of Div 1 moving ahead?
Well, I think it just provides a little bit of a feel of parity. What the league has been working towards for so long is to get everybody on the same level, get more teams to challenge Finest for the championship at the end of the day. But like I said last week, I felt like D-Boys needed this win way more than Finest did. For different reasons. I explained them last week, but D-Boys did just what they had to do to go ahead and get that win.
Puzzles?
Well, look, like I mentioned in the Tuesday podcast, honestly, it makes it interesting because we have 3 teams now at 2-1, and we have D-Boys losing to DK, Montreal's Finest beating DK, D-Boys beating Montreal's Finest, so we have no idea who's better than who, and it makes for the most interesting Division 1 in a long time.
Currently, you have 4 teams at 4 points. I believe 2 teams at 3 points, and I think
2 teams at 3
more.
points.
Yeah, and 2 more at 2 points, and then 1 being Flag Sack at the Big Donut,
Which is bizarre. But
it is. You talked about
it's not bizarre because of the way the schedule is made.
well, it's true. They had their toughest games all at the beginning of the season.
Not only that, but if you look at Finest, D-Boys, DK, and Flagmar Sac, they all play each other twice. They all find each other on their schedule twice during the season.
And Flag will beat one of these teams at some point here, which
exactly.
will definitely throw
and
a
then
wrench
and then
in
if
the
you
plot.
look at the bottom 4 teams, CBL, Got Skills, Rainmakers, and I'm missing one now, Lunatics. They only play those top 4 teams once in their schedule. So the schedule is made so that these top 4 teams are going to eat each other alive, give a chance for one of these bottom 4 teams to beat everybody else and find their way into the playoffs. And so I'm not surprised to see the way it is, and people were surprised when I gave Montreal's Finest 2 losses in preseason and DK as well. And
2 losses, who knows? It could be very well 3 losses for all we know.
I think I gave him 7-3 is what I said. I think.
Could we say now D-Boys have the finest numbers? Winners of 3 of the last 4 games going back to spring season up till now.
I wouldn't give him that yet. I wrote a couple stats here. In the past 4 games, if you include the spring season, D-Boys are 3-1 against Montreal's Finest. They won a regular season game last year. They won in the championship. They beat them this year. They're 3-1 in the last 4. And in those 4 games, D-Boys averaged 34 points, and Montreal's Finest averaged 30 points over those games. But if you go back a year ago in the winter, Montreal's Finest is 3-0 against D-Boys that season. 3-0. And in those 3 games, they averaged 34 points against, and D-Boys averaged 30 points against. So what they did now is they swap. So I don't give either team an advantage in that because they beat each other by 1 point, by 2 points, by less than a score. So they're always in the game. It always comes down to that one interception or that one turnover, and they're so tight that I don't give anybody the benefit of the doubt of being a better team.
Allow me to overreact. Keyshawn,
please do.
Keyshawn Thompson did say at the end of last season that this is not the greatest rivalry in FPF history, and I guess it's because Montreal's Finest, you need to win games to make it a rivalry. So right now, D-Boys got the number.
Matt Kirak quote on Kevin Wyeth earlier this week, I am done trash talking him, Mo. It actually hurts his feelings.
All right.
Maybe he is hurt by the feelings. Keyshawn Thompson, you mentioned him before. PZ.
Oh, I misread that. I thought it said I'm done trash talking Mo. It hurts his feelings.
No.
I misread that completely.
No. Speaking of Keyshawn, how much of a loss was it not to have him in the lineup? Would he made a difference for that defense in trying to be a little bit more stable and trying to stop that attack?
Well, I feel like his presence makes a difference. It just gives the team an overall confidence. But trading him for Aked on defense is not that big a loss. Aked is a stud on defense. He covers so much ground. I'm not saying he's a better defender than Keyshawn. I'm not saying that the team is better without Keyshawn or that they don't need him on the field. I'm just saying him not being there, let's say offensively, Mike Harrington caught that 40-yard bomb that Keyshawn would have caught himself. Mike did it. The trade-off is these teams are so deep that missing a guy like Keyshawn, it didn't make a difference. I don't think it would have made a difference.
Division 2, we look at Terror Squad against Untouchables, a heavyweight fight between these two teams here. The squad winning 37-30. Tam Billy had 6 TDs, 190 yards passing combined in rushing that it was. Justin Lavalley, 4 TDs, 3 critical INTs. They had the lead at one point and lost that game. A feisty thing you guys say here, Terror Squad, are they now starting to lay claim as being the best Div 2 team because they beat a heavyweight in the Untouchables on Saturday night in Brossard?
I think they are the best team in Division 2. Last time they played in Division 2, they won the championship. Given, yes, they finished their season 5-5, but they finished and they won the championship. I believe they won with the Patrick Jerome pick extra point pick for 2 and brought it back, and then they won by 1.
Which made someone cry actually an hour and a half later behind us in the broadcast booth.
Whatever happened then happened
Hey,
then.
listen, Mo,
But-
I don't always cry, but it was a very emotional moment.
I won't name who, but someone did cry pretty badly.
Nobody cares.
I cried when Terror Squad won this game, by the way, because they saved me from the table of terror. So that's pretty awesome.
That's it.
Anyways,
yes.
just saying, they played a 5-5 season, and they won the championship, and then they felt like they were forced to move up to Division 1.
Right.
They never should have gone up to Division 1. They ended up with seasons like, I think 1-9, and then 1-2 and 1-7-2 or something. They had horrible seasons in Division 1. They're now back in Division 2. I'm not saying they didn't belong in Division 1. What I'm saying is they're a team built for Div 2. They fit in Div 2, but they felt like they should have gone up to 1. I don't think they ever should have done that. They fit in Division 2. That's where they belong. With Tam at quarterback, they're a much better team in Division 2. The experience that he gained in playing in Division 1 against the best caliber defenses out there, I think is gonna pay off, and they're gonna dominate Division 2 and hopefully remain in Division 2 after they win another ship.
How much more open do you think guys are? Like now he went down from Division 1 to Division 2.
Oh, the
right?
windows
Like,
are a lot bigger,
You know what
right?
I mean? It's massive. Like it's really. I mean,
is
they're
massive.
not big because Division 2 is still incredible. But
Yeah.
But
It's-
by comparison,
It's a level of physicality on defense that makes a huge difference. It's your wide receivers. If they're not used to getting jammed or pushed around, or if they feel like it's borderline illegal to get pushed around, it's not. You're defending your ground. You got to go around the defender. In Division 1, nobody's giving up their ground. In Division 2, a little bit more, so the guys are a little bit more open. That window's a little bit bigger, and Tom's catching his receivers.
Just imagine if they're Division 4A. Oh, my God.
I've seen some disgusting games this year.
Yeah, we have. You and I both. The Untouchables, led by Tony Corey, they showed a bit of, not trickery, but dirtiness on the football field. You look across the board with that roster right now, are they the dirtiest team in Division 2? Because, funny enough, talking to someone on the sidelines, that person goes to me, there will be a blow-up in this football game. I go, no, the Terror Squad are a bunch of nice guys. Not going to get into a fight with these guys. By halftime, the referees were convening the captains at center field saying, listen, guys, enough of this BS. Play football.
Well, I don't know if they're the dirtiest team. I've seen them play once, and nothing happened in that game. So I don't know if you saw something I haven't seen, or you know something I don't know. I know that Tony can chirp, and he can get under people's skin. And
There's a rule in the league as of this season because of Tony Curry that you cannot roll into players' legs to intentionally harm them. So yeah,
he's a player trying to make plays. I've got nothing against the guy. I know he.
Oh,
Can,
I don't either.
I know his mouth gets going a lot of the time. It's probably 100% of the times, and all his games you can hear Tony chirping something for no reason, whether he's right or not. He's just always trying to play that mental game, trying to get under your skin, trying to get you off your game, and he's most often successful. I'm not gonna lie.
I will give you these stat lines: 5 INTs, 5 sacks, 9 PDs, and a pick 6 as well. Are the Terror Squad the best defense in Division 2?
No, I don't give him that because of the teams they've played against. There's other teams that have much better rosters who've played against better offenses. For example, Clockwork has given up 79 points on his season. Yeah, they have a ton of picks, but they played Damps this past week, and I think they had like 7 picks or 6
Damps is
picks.
like the sacrificial line for Division 2 this year. Oh, God.
Serve with Ice has given up 51 points, another really good defense, and they've had some good games. Terror Squad 83. I think the best defense in Division 2 is Chernobyl's defense. I mean, when you take guys like Hum, Bond, Suat, Chenard, another guy, Jovan Colbert, I think. Jovan Colbert. Nobody ever mentions this guy, but he's a really good defender. He's doesn't have the best of hands. He's not going to pick you off. He'll probably drop a couple picks, but he is going to cover you like white on rice. He's a great DB on that team. And with that tall rush, Gatier, is that it? Alexandre Gatier? I mean, he's not fast. He's not going to get in your face fast, but his arms and his body is going to block the entire field. Your vision
It takes away the middle of the field.
Exactly. It takes away the entire, almost, well, I'd say like a third of the field, if not more, with those hands just waving around. Like, it's insane.
Wolverines Hammer Legends 41-24. Tony Tibet 2 yards passing, 6 TDs. Eric Cavalgin with 4 TD receptions. Corey Packer 4 TDs, 1 INT. I asked you this question because we've seen the Legends and Wolverines hook up a couple of times throughout the FPF season years past. Have the Legends lost their team status and look ordinary?
Yeah, I think so. I think they lost it this summer, and they haven't regained it yet. They lost in the finals last winter, and it's gotten worse from that point on. Corey's not playing as bad. He started off the season not so good, but he's getting better and better. He's still not at a point where he's gonna help the team win football games, but they're getting there. They have a lot of good pieces to their puzzle. They got great players like Marco Bertoldi.
They're a team, though. Sorry, Vince. They're a team that's sort of become like Gino DeFazio, like where they bring in guys every week.
Yeah,
you know? I don't think that's hurt the
become
continuity of this team as you move towards the middle part of the season. In a few
And it doesn't work against the highest level.
No, it doesn't. Absolutely not. I think
Well, what they
that's
tried to do is they had a good core, and they had a good team. They've had a lot of success in the past, and they've always tried to move up. And while moving up, they tried to get rid of some guys and add on better guys. But some of the guys that they added on didn't stay. So then when they lost those guys, and they always try to patch, it's like the boat's always got water coming in. They're just trying to like throw it overboard, like get rid of this bad water, all this, and they never ever, they haven't been able to come back afloat. Like,
It's funny because when I started when they started on the scene, it reminded me of a team when I started working for the media in The Incredibles that everyone was excited about. Hey, when they move up, hey, look, they're fun, they're exciting, and then like they sort of just hit a wall at some point.
They stagnated.
They just got stagnant. Exactly.
Wolverines, could they be 7-1 before they face Chernobyl and Terror Squad their last 2 games of the year? Because you look at their schedule, Vince, they have some very winnable games from this point onwards up until week 9-10 when they hit that big teeth of games.
it's possible. I mean, everything's possible in this league. I don't put anything past the Wolverines, to be very honest with you. I go week by week with the Wolverines.
Good or bad Tony Tibet, is that what it is, really?
I don't think there is a Tony's never bad. He's never bad.
Oh, he's bad.
Okay, but he's never bad enough to cost his team. He's not going to cost his team the game.
Well, I score kept some games.
The thing is, it's all on Tony. Like, the supporting cast is not strong enough for him to not be amazing. For him to just be good, the supporting cast is not strong enough.
No, absolutely. Anyway, I think,
and they've beaten good teams this year. They beat No Regard and they beat the Legends. They lost to Untouchables, which is one of the probably top 2 teams in Division 2. They're doing good things. They've got good players like Eric this week catching 4 touchdowns. I mean, the guy's a stud. He's been good forever. I feel like there's always a little thing on defense that's missing. Coverage. I don't know who's calling their plays. I don't know what it is. I haven't put my finger on it for them. The Wolverines, honestly, every time I played them, I didn't know how to game plan for them. I feel like there's nothing consistent with them.
Speaking of consistent, we'll talk about who is the best player in Division 1, which has caused an uproar, more like a forest fire on the Facebook wall.
It's awesome.
Theo Jed, is he the best D1 player? And when I'm talking about player, I'm talking about not receiver, because I think some people got confused here. People listed Akad Moore, Guillaume Ward, and a list of guys, Pat Jerome included. But I wasn't looking at it from a receiver perspective. I'm looking at it as a guy who can play both ways and excel at those positions. Pardon me. Is he the best guy right now in Division 1?
Yeah, I'll give him that. I'll give him best 2-way player in Division 1 right now. He's a guy who plays with a lot of emotions. We haven't always seen eye to eye. When I played with Roosters and Donkeys way back, like a year and a half ago, I loved playing with Theo. We played on the same side on the defense, and I love playing with Theo. He's so confident in himself. He feels like there's no one-on-one he's not going to win, whether he's on offense or he's on defense. He lines up against anybody who's in front of him. He knows I'm gonna beat this guy, or you're not going to get the ball today, or I'm gonna pick off whatever comes our way. And when he's on offense, he just wants the ball. He's always open. He's so hard to cover.
And not only that, though, and I'll give you a stat that I looked at this morning. He has a 10-game streak of touchdown catches going, at least one or more. He's had, I think, 3 or 4 multiple TD games. In his 4 games against the Defiance the last 2 years, spring and winter season, he has scored 11 touchdowns in 4 games. He went off for 5 on Sunday against them.
Are you counting in those 5 in those stats?
Yeah, exactly, which I am. And I look at it this way. He locked down Guillaume Ward. it is very tough to go against Theo Joy being the number one guy, being the best player, because like Pastrnard was in 2010, 2011, being the best two-way player, I think that Theo Joy is now the legit best two-way player in Division
Yeah,
One.
I'll give him that. He's in the prime of his athletic life, I would say. Like he's at the top. I don't think he can get better. Well, maybe everybody. There's always room for improvement. I'm not gonna lie, but he's really, really, really good. He's a really good football
He
player.
makes an ordinary Masiocha look like superstar.
I don't think he makes Marco look like a superstar because Marco's not. He's not average. He's not like you said ordinary. Does he make him look more than ordinary? I don't think Marco's an ordinary quarterback. I think
Theo's made some crazy catches.
and I'll give him all the crazy catches he's made. But Marco has never thrown. He never played football. He didn't play quarterback before playing flag football. And he's made his way up to Division One. And he's now going. He's going punch for punch with Kevin Wyeth, which is the best quarterback in Division One. I wouldn't say Marco's ordinary. I would say he's above average at least. Like he's a really good quarterback in Division One. And it's not because he's my boy. It's not because any of that. You got to give credit where credit's due.
Well, he's not happy with you about the stats, huh?
Marco has proven himself to be one of the best quarterbacks in Division One. Whether you want to give it to him or not, fine. Theo Ojea being on his roster obviously makes any quarterback look really good. I would take him on my team. There's not a single quarterback that wouldn't take a guy like Theo. The guy will fight for every ball you throw his way. You will never throw a pick throwing to Theo. He'll either come down with it or he'll knock it down for you.
Speaking of quarterbacks who make teams better, Rick Necheri has joined the Raiders in Division 2. Now, of course, Leon Holder was a former quarterback. A bit of a disagreement with him and Robert White. They've moved elsewhere. And now Rick comes on board. They win their first game on Sunday at Loyola. How much of a difference is Rick Necheri for this Raider team moving forward?
Huge difference. Huge difference. First of all, I think Rick's won like 3 championships and has 7 individual awards. The guy has experience in this league. He's won awards. He's been around the block and back. I understand it hasn't been anything lately. He's done nothing in the past maybe 2 years. Or it was probably back in the days where you were playing still, and in top division. So he knows the league. He knows what works. He knows what offensive plays to call. He knows what guys going to be open when and how. He can make those reads that Leon was unable to make. I'm not telling you that his offense, his receiving core is not any better than the one Leon was throwing to, but he'll at least be able to do better with what he's got based on his experience in this league.
Now, on a Day 2 scale, where would you rank this team now as non-competitive, competitive, playoff competitive, or championship competitive moving forward?
I give him competitive.
Same.
That's it.
Yeah?
Like they'll stay in games, but they won't win a lot of them.
So
They have a rough schedule, too.
Yeah,
they do. They have a death row of games on their schedule, which is very, very tough here. So how many wins would you give the Raiders then in that regard with their tough gauntlet of games that they'll have to go through from this point onwards?
They have 1 win right now, and I give them 3 of the next 7, so I think they'll finish 4 and 6.
I was gonna say 3-7 on the season total.
And that might be enough to get into the playoffs at this juncture of the season, given how many teams are 0-3 or 1-2.
But you don't want to be a bottom seed in Div 2 in the
Oh,
playoffs.
God, no.
It's going to be a disaster.
Oh, God, you just might as well pack your bags and get going. Like, don't you show up
That
to the
said,
playoff
please
game.
show up to the game because no one wants to forfeit in playoffs.
I wouldn't.
Speaking of blasphemy, I'm sure the
Speaking
finals
of
will be saying, "How dare you say this team is better than our team?" Well, they are technically speaking because they are still undefeated in Division 1. CBL.
I never said they were better than them.
Well, finance will apply to me.
Yeah, okay.
CBL 1-0-2. Still
Are you saying
undefeated.
CBL is better than Finest?
Well, right now they have an undefeated record, don't they? I'm just saying the record states what you are, right? Like Bill Parcells once said.
Okay, does a tie give you 2 points?
Hey, they're undefeated, right? They are undefeated.
And tied for first.
So they can go the whole season like 1-0 and 9, and you're gonna say they're better than Finest?
They are undefeated. How dare he say that
logic
they are
makes
undefeated?
no sense to me.
Well, speaking of logic,
They're also gonna be winless, undefeated or not.
well, technically speaking, right now they would be.
They're the best winless team, though.
Yeah, they're the best winless team ever. They're better than Finest at
Right
not
now,
winning games.
They would finish 4-0-6 with this current record.
What's happening here, Mo?
Hey, they're perfect right now. We get ourselves.
They are not
teams.
perfect. I'm not giving them perfect. A tie is nothing close to being perfect at all, especially against the teams you get in those
Did
ties
they lose
with.
though?
Okay, but you're tying to Lunatics. Is that who they tied?
They tied.
They played Lunatics, God Skills, and Rainmakers. They're 1-0-2. You're gonna tell me they're better than Finest?
Hey, they're
He
undefeated
doesn't
right
want
now.
to tell you that.
Stop it.
Uh,
Stop it.
How much
Stop
stock
it.
are you buying to CBL start though?
How much stock am I buying in CBL?
Are you buying a lot? Are you buying very little? Are you buying nothing?
I'm buying nothing.
It's a schedule. Honestly, it's like we talked about for the top tier teams. This is the easy part of CBL schedule. It gets much harder before it's done.
Well, it's only going to get hard for 4 games when they play the top 4,
But still,
and then
it's
they
4
get back
tough games,
against.
though, you know
Yeah,
what I
you're
mean?
right, 100%. And those 4 games are going to be 4 losses. So at the end of the year, I'm guaranteeing you those are 4 losses.
Now, what would you say if they're 4 ties?
then
Well,
what? Then they're perfect.
and then they got 2 other games. Okay, they got 2 other games or 3 other games, or maybe 3 other ties. So they're gonna end up 1-4 and 5.
Okay.
Is that what you're telling me?
So could they jump into the top 3 right now? Because the way it's structured,
But
for
they
the
could,
schedule,
yes. They could, which is because of the way the schedule is built. We already spoke
Which makes it
about
kind of fun too, right? Like
It doesn't make it fun. You want to be in Division 1, it
Oh,
should be a,
stop.
it
Don't
should be a
don't be a
scramble.
communist. It doesn't
Why-
matter. This is
why-
more interesting.
Okay,
It's more
fine.
interesting. Why have the same 2
Vince
teams play
lives
all
in-
the time?
Vince lives like in up north Quebec, which is like
Apparently.
never heard of capitalism in up north Quebec.
I believe in fairness, and it's not
Oh my God,
because
fairness.
it's not because DK.
We'll get your pony
Finance,
for your birthday. How's that?
Flagmore Sack. Okay, well then Flagmore Sack they've never been successful in Division 1. Why do they have to play the top 4 twice in their schedule?
Because they were ranked as a 4 seed.
3 seed.
3 seed, pardon me. Yes, 3 seed.
And who's making these rankings?
Jesus.
India.
Jesus of
Just
Jesus
straight
of
Jesus.
FBF
Okay.
based
Call
on what?
center in
Based
India is
on
making
what the
these
clouds look like
rankings.
that day?
No, call center in India is making
You guys are
these.
killing me.
Carmen Palice.
These rankings are straight out of India. I believe that.
Probably are. Carmen Palice, similar parallels to Peyton Manning, the old gunslinger, having the renaissance of a season. It's true, though, when you think about Carmen Palice has not won a Div 1 title in about 11 years, or 10 years, to be
Okay.
exact.
Okay.
And he's put up some pretty good numbers up till now. I know he had 2 INTs on
Okay, well,
Saturday.
I'm not going to compare him to Peyton. I'm going to give him credit because he is a really good quarterback. He's got nothing left to prove. He's done everything he can do. He's dominated as a receiver. He's dominated as a quarterback. He literally has nothing to prove. Everybody knows he's a really good player. He's a really nice guy. But I'm not going to compare him to Peyton Manning because he's not going to end up in the Super Bowl this year. He's not going to end up in the finals. I guarantee you that. If
and
they make
CBL has won the Division 1 title.
Can you imagine?
Who would've thought
if they
this?
do that, I'm going to do everything left on that board of God knows
Oh,
what.
they're only
Do
going
we
to
have
get
that on
worse.
the camera, please? Do we have that on the camera? You're doing everything on the board,
I'll write it down. I'll take a picture. I'll sign it.
including eating
If
20 donuts.
CBL
Including
wins,
surviving a workout with Vince Nardone.
All right, Vince, ready for the workout? Sure thing.
Maybe you got to do 2 workouts that day.
I'll do what I can. Moving on, Mo.
We're moving on here. Speaking of what's wrong in this world, Salid are 0-3 right now. How much worse can it be for this squad here? They lost to the Raiders, as we mentioned before, at Loyola on Sunday. This is a team that's very talented. When you look at the roster from top to bottom, Paul Lapierre, Jamil Springer, GMK as well, our very own Jim Clarethris. What has gone wrong with this football team for this 0-3 abomination?
Well, what's gone wrong is week 1, they didn't have a quarterback, they lost. Give them that. Week 2, they played Terror Squad, they lost. I'll give them that. Week 3, they played, who they play?
Raiders.
They played the Raiders and they lose that one. That I'm not going to give to them. What's wrong with them is 100% on their defense. They have no rusher. I think John Laristic's been rushed game 1 and game 2. He had no sacks. GM rushed week 3.
That's problems.
Not a good
Genius.
experience.
That's problem.
Not a good experience
That's
at
real
all.
problem.
That needs to stop now. I love you, GM, but you're not going to rush. And Jamil deciding to not play offense during the game is not going to help out your squad. either.
And they lost, coming into the season, they lost Justin Blanchard, who they thought would be on the team, and they lost Antonio Lani after week 1.
Yeah.
So at this point, I'm not a huge fan of the roster because even though they have some top-end talent, some of the best talent on this team is inexperienced at this division.
So who
So it
needs
does
to
take
step
some
up
adjustment time.
Yeah.
Who needs to step up? Is it Paul Lapierre then, as the guy who has the most Div 1 experience, Div 1 playing at the highest level, playing Div 2 quarterback at this juncture?
No, I think Lapierre is doing what he can. He's doing the best he can with the hand that he's
I
been
disagree.
dealt.
I think there's talented guys like John Laristis, like Crazy Gordon like Killer Kerr, not necessarily other than John.
They're young,
No,
but talented.
But that's it. Like just because we don't know them, and if you look at the ball distribution, they're not getting any balls. And like
true.
these guys are elite level athletes. So I don't understand. I don't get what Paul is doing with this team. Honestly, I'd like to see change. And it's not that they don't have the pieces; they're just misusing the roster they have.
They're one game outside of a playoff spot after 3 weeks.
I think it's way too early to talk playoffs. That is not a thing at all.
0-3 though. They're 0-3.
All right, sure.
There's 7 games left here. How many wins do they need then? Right now,
I
realistically.
can't tell you. After 3 weeks, I don't know.
5-2. Do they have to break even to get into the playoffs?
Let's just
right
say
now?
they need to start winning. Let's start with that.
I would say at least 5 wins.
They break even essentially
Yeah.
to have a chance.
Yeah.
Break even on the remaining games of the season, though.
7
think they
games
need
left. They
5
go
games.
5-2.
They'll need to break even on the season.
Yeah.
But they'll need to go on a run to make the playoffs.
Yeah, they'll need to at least go, like you said, 5-2. I'll give them that. Yeah, for sure.
The stat of the day in Division 2. Minus the Div 1 quarterbacks of Marco Mazziocho and Kevin Wyeth, who are playing QBs for ONS and for Clockwork. There are 7 QBs who have at least 13 TDs. Rod Mastrip, Tony Tibet have 15 TDs each. over under 3.5 the number of quarterbacks that will surpass 42 touchdowns this year, which is the current projection.
But
for each guy.
after Wednesday's game, after last night's game, Fred Dupree and LeBeau are now at 16 both.
16, yes.
So there's more than those quarterbacks. But why are we excluding Masiocha and Wyatt?
Because those are Division 1 guys.
They can't win quarterback of the year.
Yeah, they can't win quarterback of the year.
Oh, okay, we're talking about quarterback of the year.
Yeah,
You're
guys
asking
who are
me how many
legit
guys
good-
are going to throw over 45 touchdowns.
Yeah, 45 touchdowns. Well, let's change that to 48.
I'm just asking why
I'm
are we
more
excluding
confused.
Masiocha and Wyatt if we're not talking awards.
So 2 plus.
No, I'm gonna put them all in there, okay, including Wyatt and Masiocha because they have Div 2 rosters.
I know, but they're not Division 2 quarterbacks. They're not by the award rules. They will
Okay,
not be.
But we're not
considered for
talking award. You're asking me how many quarterbacks are going to throw more than 48 now? You change it?
We'll go 48 and a half.
Okay, I'm going to give you 4 quarterbacks going to throw more than 48.
Who?
Kevin
Excluding
Wyatt.
Wyatt.
I'm
No,
including.
you can't do that. Okay, PC Cash.
So then 2. Who are the 2, Vince?
Who are the 2?
It's going to be Fred Dupree and LeBeau.
Tony Tibet.
I just
No, not Tony.
I want to
Matched
actually mention Rob Mash to be.
You
I
change
don't-
it to 48. That's a lot of freaking touchdowns.
I don't think there's been a player who has improved more than Rod Mashtab in his time in
Yeah.
FPF.
Great quarterback. He's not going to throw more than 48.
But he throws too many deep balls. That's his biggest problem. He throws too many deep balls, and he gets himself flustered.
Exactly, but he takes away possessions from us by throwing interceptions. So those interceptions should have been touchdowns. He's not going to throw 48.
Just don't tackle the guys he's running it back, and then you get yourself
His
you
little
get yourself
brother
the ball back.
could probably throw 50 touchdown passes. Sam
Hey,
Mashfield.
he's on the Hurricanes in FPF Junior, so hope so.
Apparently
But you're allowed
so.
to clothesline in this league, so.
All right, yes or no? Will we see any 50 touchdown passers in Division 2 this year?
How many what?
50.
50?
Yeah.
2 of them.
Yeah, 2 of them. Kevin Wyatt and Masiocha.
That's not the point of the
Well,
exercise.
I'll let Fred Dupree. Actually, I think Fred Dupree will be right at it, right at 50.
You know what? Guillaume Ward got
50?
hurt in the loss to Glads on Wednesday night, and they looked really lethargic without him. He came back in, Guillaume Ward, but nonetheless,
That's not good
though,
news. That's not good news for Finest or for CLR.
I guess Mocon beginning to call up from
my
the
picks,
finest.
my picks are changing.
Oh boy! Oh boy! Anyways, that's the stat of the day.
That brings us to games of the week, and we have the Wolverines taking on the Wild
Well,
Boys.
hold on here. Last week,
Calm down over there, Pete.
I had the
I was
D-Boys
excited.
at 4.5 points. You guys mocked me for that point spread.
I mock you anytime.
Never
No matter what.
question the point spread master when it comes to that stuff.
It
Let's
was
go,
me,
Gabe.
obviously, because you're picking the game, so you clearly
They're
couldn't
coming
have
from
been
India.
Oh, right,
so
yeah.
we can't
Vegas.
even
Yeah,
check
Vegas.
these.
Vegas.
So Vegas has the Wolverines favored at 5.5 points over Wild Boys.
Well, India's got Wild Boys at 7.5. So
Las Vegas, India, of course.
I'm going to go Wild Boys on this one.
Wolverines.
Good
Wild
for you.
Boys look very bad.
Good for
They
you,
look
Mo.
out of it on Sunday night in their loss in the Sheen against Served with Ice. Give me the Wolverines.
The biggest point spread on the docket this week is DK as they get to take on Lunatics. It is a 10.5 point spread in favor of DK.
Yeah, DK for sure.
Lunatics.
Stop.
DK will win, but Lunatics.
Mo's wasted.
Untouchables take on CLR.
Stop eating lemons.
It's 3.5 points to CLR.
CLR, please.
Untouchables.
This is interesting. We have Flag Wanasak taking on CBL, and CBL, the undefeated and winless CBL, at 4.5 points as the favorite.
Give me flag more sack.
To win it straight up, I would imagine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Same.
CBL to remain undefeated.
It's the smartest. This is the smartest money in Vegas. Take Flag Wanasak.
Honestly.
Uh,
This is
before-
how Vegas makes money, by the way. It's people like Mo betting.
Oh, they would have made more money with
Oh,
that D-Boys cover last week.
Before we move on, and I can throw it back to you, Mo, I just
Yes.
want to remind everyone, if you stay tuned to the FPF Podcast Network this evening, you will catch, of course, the Table of Terror. Some punishments have already been doled out, and where we choose games at random because none of us actually know what's going to happen because the game is getting so absolutely insane. And with that, Mo,
What did you learn on today's episode, Vince?
I learned that you shouldn't bet on football.
Puzzles?
I've learned that you can be undefeated and winless at the same time.
They're 1-0-2
Actually, That's
though.
a really good one.
That's
I
not
learned,
bad,
I
right?
learned that you could be CBL and be better than Finest because you're
They're
tied
1-0-2. They're undefeated. Better than Flies right now. Eagle, you learned anything?
La música de Harry Fraud.
Lemons are disgusting.
Yeah, by the way, Alex has been eating lemons for the past hours.
Good for your
Straight
stomach, by
lemons.
the way. I learned.
You already look skinnier.
I learned we have like.
You look skinnier.
Get a
already.
fit to that dress for prom.
Yeah, those biceps look pretty big. I learned that we have an exam-like group of people waiting in the green room right now here at Sportier Cage.
We should Snapchat that. It's
could.
pretty funny.
Okay, we'll do it right now. Good morning, Czechoslovakia.
Ciao.
Welcome, everyone. This is the Table of Terror, where each week we dip into the box of terror and we choose a team at random across all divisions, as well as some special cards, which we're going to come across this season, of course. The point is, we don't actually know what's going to happen because FPF's got so ridiculous. Each week, teams win we don't expect, teams lose that we don't expect, so we're choosing these teams at random. If someone loses in a given week, what happens, GM? There's a whole list of punishments. I think GM is muted, by the way. There's a list of punishments where you get to choose your own demise. For example, what do we see this week so far?
We saw the lemon punishment with Eagle.
Absolutely, where Eagle had to eat a lemon per segment during the show.
There will be another one that's going to be seen tonight as well.
Absolutely, Simon Dagenet will be on the Division 3 podcast with his hands tied together. Without further ado, let's reach into the box. Who'd you got, GM?
Div 2 Wolverines!
Div 2 Wolverines.
Come on, Tony. I need you. I really need you right now.
Who's up next? These Delaries. Who are you choosing? No looking. Ballbusters Division 3. Please show the camera on your way out. Mokan, please show the camera on your way out and choose a team without looking. What do we got? Trap Stars. Which division?
5A. Who do you play this week?
Trap Stars in Division 5A. It doesn't matter who they're playing, Mo. Vince Nardone. No looking. No peeking.
Sorry.
Who'd you choose? Division 3, Meta Mayhem, who have an insane game on their hands,
Go out
though.
of whack.
Chapman. No.
Furious.
Division 5, the Fat and the Furious, who were so fat they did not fit on the card in Division 5A. Simon Dagenet, come on down. No one wants to do it. There's nothing good in this box. Everyone can lose. Cougars, Division 4A. I think are we at Eagle? Eagle, you choose for yourself and choose for Terry Tam. We'll have you choose as Terry Tam first. Oh, we got Brent. Okay, we'll get Brent after you, Eagle. Terry Tam. Who does Terry Tam choose?
Division 1, Montreal's finest for
Division-
Terry Tam.
Ooh, it's cheap. And Eags,
Division 4B, A Squad.
A
Come on,
Squad.
guys, I don't eat lemons again.
You can't. There's worse punishments on there. You took the easy one.
Someone I know. Please be
Bet
someone.
calendar.
Division 6, Team Laval.
Team Laval. The win. No, they did win a couple games. That was Team Laval.
I believe.
Team Laval.
I believe.
You're believed in. I will choose my own game here. Division 6, the Smoking Axles. And with that, I want to thank everyone for joining. This has been the Table of Terror. Please tune in to the weekly podcast. And I'm furious. I'm smoking at this point. But anyway, please tune in as we will witness many more punishments as we move on through each season of the week. Thank you all for joining us. See you soon.